Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be doing my second Dollar Tree movie update. So I have 5 more Blu-rays that I watched from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a quick little my thoughts on them and decide whether I'm keeping them or not. So stay tuned to see what my thoughts are. Okay, welcome back. My name is Alisa, and in today's video I'm kind of sharing those Dollar Tree Blu-rays I had purchased a while back and got a few more watched and thought I'd share with you guys what my thoughts are. So again, I do a rating scale and so I either love it, like it, think it's meh, just okay, not for me, and hate it. So that's kind of my rating for all of these, and I'm going to share them in the order that I got them watched. So let's just get started. Okay, the first one is Your Sister's Sister. This was with Emily Blunt, and this movie was about it's his brother passes away, and these two are best friends, and so Emily tells him, why don't you kind of get away and go to my family's cabin for just a little getaway. Well, he ends up discovering that her sister is there, and he'd never met his best friend's sister before, so she ends up being there because she was going through a really rough breakup. And we discover that she's a lesbian. They both end up drinking tequila that night, and you know, they might have gotten a little bit too tipsy and some things happen. And as the movie kind of unfolds, we discover that Emily Blunt's actually in love with her best friend. And there's kind of some drama that has happened based on the first night that these two were together. And so Emily ends up discovering that drama, and that's kind of what the movie is slowly showing us throughout the whole time. And it mainly takes place in their cabin. The movie had some kind of funny parts to it, but it was really slow in my opinion. It kind of just took a while to get going. And I actually didn't mind it. I didn't mind the movie until the very end. So, you know, something kind of comes about, and in my mind, it's kind of the decisions that were made, in my opinion, were kind of pretty messed up decisions. And the result of those decisions, kind of everyone ends up being okay. But in the end, they don't really tell us what ends up happening. So it's one of those endings where you're left hanging, and I guess we're just supposed to figure out or make up our own decision of what we think would happen or what we think happened. Which that like really made me angry. I just watched this whole entire movie. There's a little bit of a twist there, and then all of a sudden you end and you have no idea what ends up happening. So that like made me mad, and for me, in the end, no, this was a movie that's not for me. I would say it's worth $1, but I probably would never watch it again, and I didn't enjoy a lot of it, especially with that ending. It just kind of made me mad. So yeah, it was probably a waste of my time. So this is not staying in my collection. Okay, the next one that I watched was Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett Johansson. Oh, now this movie, I guess I should have read the description a little bit better before I bought it, because I hadn't. But it's pretty much, he is addicted to porn and has a really hard time with relationships with real women. He meets Scarlett Johansson and they end up getting in a relationship. But the whole movie is just pretty much him trying to overcome his addiction to porn, and he ends up meeting Julianne Moore, her character, who is an older woman who kind of teaches him more about relationships and helps him through the process. But this movie I don't know. I guess I should have read more of the description. It just wasn't my type of a movie. It was a lot of, I mean, it's very vulgar and lots of nudity, like, which is fine. I didn't really like the plot. That's all there is to it. I didn't enjoy this guy's addicted to porn and has issues with real relationships. I don't know. It just wasn't interesting to me. So I actually don't think this was worth $1, and I truly thought it was a waste of my time. So this is a not for me. I wouldn't say I completely hated it, but it's definitely not for me. So that's not going in my collection either. Next one I actually watched with my boys, and this was Walking with Dinosaurs, the movie. And this one was pretty enjoyable. It follows this little dinosaur, and it shows him as a young dinosaur and then growing up, and kind of what happens in, you know, how to survive, him and his family. What I thought was kind of cool is in the movie, they would pause and show, like, the name of the dinosaur would pop up and tell you if it's a herbivore, omnivore, carnivore. So it had a little bit of educational value there. But it was pretty cute. My boys really liked it. It has a little bit of a love story between two dinosaurs, but I don't know, we liked it, and because my boys enjoyed it a lot, I've decided to keep this one. So I would say I liked this one. It was worth $1 for sure, and I wouldn't say it was not a waste of our time. So we enjoyed it. It's definitely more of a kid movie, but they did a good job, in my opinion, of portraying these dinosaurs, and they kind of made them look pretty lifelike. So I don't know, we liked it. So I'm keeping this one. So we've got one keeper so far. Okay, the next one that I had watched was Black Nativity. This one has Jennifer Hudson and Angela Bassett, Tyrese Gibson, Mary J. Blige, Forest Whitaker. The main characters are, you mostly see Forest Whitaker and Angela Bassett. And then this boy here, I'm assuming his name's Jacob Lattimore. It does have some singing, so there's songs throughout it. So I guess you'd say it is a musical, but it wasn't like prominently a musical. But there are songs in it. This one was just okay for me. It's the boy, the mom is estranged from her parents, and the boy had never met his grandparents before, and mom's going through a hard time, loses her, they're gonna lose their home, so she has him go live with his grandparents, and come to find out his grandparents are very well off and don't have any issues with money, and his grandfather is a preacher. So we kind of see why that family has family problems, and the boy discovers what went on and why his mom doesn't talk to her parents anymore, and why he, you know, what happened between his mom and his dad, because they're not together anymore, and he'd never met his dad before, I believe. But it's kind of predictable. You kind of figure out what's going on, and at the end there's like a really long scene in the church, and it was very preachy, just a lot, very preachy, and I don't know, it was just okay for me. So for this one it was meh, and I'm not planning to keep it. I would say it was worth $1 and worth the watch time, but it was just okay. So there's that one. And then the last one I watched was called About Last Night with Kevin Hart. And this is actually mostly about these two, and this is the actress that plays in Parenthood, if you're familiar with that TV show. I love that TV show. And it kind of follows these two couples through their ups and downs of a relationship, and Kevin Hart's hilarious in it. It is rated R, so it's got some, you know, it's a rated R. So there were some laugh out loud moments that I did laugh about. But as it got going, I don't know, this love story just wasn't as interesting to me, and I could say it was also kind of predictable. So this was also another it was okay movie. I would say it's worth $1, and it was worth my time, but it was just okay. I enjoy other romantic comedies and then just comedies much, much more than this. Not keeping this one either. Okay, so those are the next 5 movies that I got watched. Keeping this one, not keeping these ones. So far I am 2 for 10 on keeping the Dollar Tree movies. But not all of them have been a complete waste. So there you go. Yeah. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of those. What are your thoughts on them? Again, these are my thoughts. We could completely agree or disagree, and that's totally fine. But I will continue to watch more of my Dollar Tree movies, and when I get 5 more watched, I will be updating you all. Okay, I hope you're having a great day. Bye. So he meets